you started off Hulk Hogan in a way. He worked one of his first territories here. Could you talk about hearing about him and bringing him to Memphis?
Yeah, Louis Gillette was a booker down in Florida, and Louis called me and said, Jerry, I've got this kid down here that is big and looks like Charles Atlas, but he can't wrestle. But I think if you would spend some time with him, you could turn him into a talent. So I told Louis, send him up. And when he got there, when he arrived at my house, I thought, holy cow. Louis didn't describe this guy. I mean, he was the most impressive person I'd ever seen. So we did that. I called my production people, and we did that first video where we started at his feet, panned the camera up, had him pose, and he just, you know, there's a funny thing about a wrestler, and you've probably experienced this. Most people, when they start out in the business, are pretending to be a wrestler, and then something snaps in their head and they go, I am a wrestler. Hogan, that didn't snap in his head until he left here. Here he was pretending to be a wrestler, and of course he was learning. I think he might have been, when Vince Sr. first, when I sent him from here up there, it hadn't snapped yet, and I think that's what Sr. noticed. You know, he doesn't really think of himself as a wrestler. I think it happened when he was overworking for Vern Gagne. I think it dawned on him, I am a wrestler.
And when he came here, he was known as Terry Boulder, and I think you gave him the name the Hulk. Is that true?
Yes, his real name was Terry Boulder, and he introduced himself as Terry Boulder. And then when we did that interview, I said, I think we're going to call you the Hulk. And he said, well, I don't want to get in trouble with the
comic book
character. And I said, no, as long as you don't call yourself the Incredible Hulk. Hulk is a descriptive adjective. He said, oh, okay. So we just called him the Hulk.
And I've heard you say this isn't true, but the way he tells it in his book is you saw him on TV with Lou Ferrigno, who was the real Hulk, and you thought he looked bigger than the Hulk.
No, that didn't happen.
He also said he sweated through 25 belts a month. That he sweated so much that he would sweat through the leather of the WWE belts, and they'd have to replace it 25 times in a month.
Well, now that may be true. I don't know what his condition was.
Yeah. But
my wife, when he was sitting there at the table, she ran up and got burgers, Big Mac or whatever, and he was eating 4 hamburgers and 4 fries, 2 or 3 Cokes, and he was wet. This is before he got ready for the shoot, and my wife went and brought him a towel, and then after it was all over and they left, she said, I've never seen anybody sweat like that. The chair he was sitting in was wet. Now, I don't know what that condition is. I don't know if it's steroids causes you to sweat, or nerves, or I don't know what it was. But yeah, he sweated a lot.
Are you happy that WWE has put him back in the Hall of Fame now after all the controversy that he had over the past few years?
Well, I think that controversy was tragic, and yes, I think it would be hard for us to have a true representative of the wrestling business without Hulk being included, because, you know, he's the nearest thing to replacing Gorgeous George that there's ever been. Now, that's not to say that Stone Cold Steve Austin and Rocky Johnson, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, are not right up there with them, but he was the first.
And he had a longer career than the other two. Hopefully he's finally ended his career and he's not going to come back, in my opinion, but you never know. Yeah.
Yeah.